Welcome to the SI Academy. Today we're discussing about the class 10th chapter number 7 control and coordination. Okay, next topic is that animals in nervous system, how a nervous system works in animals. Okay, how to study here. In animals such as control and coordinations are provided by nervous and muscular tissue. So in animal, control and coordination is done by two types of tissues called as one is the nervous tissue and that is another one is called as muscular tissue. But from these two tissue, animals control and coordinated in their body. Okay, which you are studying in the class 9th. Okay, so these are basic study in the 9th class that animals control and coordination their activity by the two types of tissue called as the nervous tissue and muscular tissue. Okay, touching a hot this is the touching a hot object touching a hot object is an urgent and dangerous situation for us. Okay, touching a object is what a very danger and urgent situation for any animal or a us. Okay, it is a very dangerous situation and to animals as well as the human beings. We need to detect it and respond to it. Okay, it is urgent means it is urgent and dangerous means you have to detect it very fastly and according to that you have to do the response. Okay, how do we detect the how we detect that we are touching a hot object. Okay, we are touching a hot object, it is urgent and dangerous means you have to detect it and you have to respond it. Next question arises here, how we can detect that this is a hot object or a cold object, for example. Okay, all information from our environment is detected by specialized tips of some nerve cells. Okay, we are detecting the changes in the environment or we can detect the hot object or a cold object by the help of what special tips of the what nerve cell. By the help of nerve cells we can detect the or which is the hot object or which is the cold object. Okay, these receptors are usually located in our sense organs. Okay, these by the help of the receptors we can detect the changes in the environment. These receptors are present in our sense organs such as what inner ear, nose and the tongue and so on. Okay, these receptors mainly tells about the changes in the environment and gives the information about that particular changes. Okay, that are called as what receptor. Okay, what is the question arises here, what is the receptor means you can write these are the receptor which collects the information changes in the environment, that is called as the what receptor. So what are the examples of receptor means again important question. The gustatory receptors are will detect the taste and olfactory receptor will detect the smell. What are the two types of receptor means here gustatory receptor will detects the what taste, gustatory will detects the taste, remember that again important, and olfactory receptor will detects the what smell. Which receptor detects the smell means you can write olfactory receptor. Which receptor detects the taste means you can write gustatory receptor. These are the two receptor. Okay, next what is the receptor means so these are the receptors which detects the changes in the environment are called as the receptors. For further examples you can write means you can write gustatory receptor detects the taste and olfactory receptor detects the smell. Okay, remember that these 2 points are very important. Okay, they will ask for means they will ask for only 1 marks. Okay, function of receptor, function of gustatory receptor and function of olfactory receptor means you can write gustatory will do that detect the taste and olfactory will detect the smell. Okay, next so this they will we detect the smell and taste by the help of gustatory receptor and olfactory receptor means so how these information is transported means so this information acquired at the end of the dendroid tip of a nerve cell. Okay, first this is called as what, our nerve cell. Okay, this is called as the our nerve cell. This part is called as the nucleus, and this is called as the cell body, and this part is called as the dendroid, and this part is called as the axon, and this is called as the what, nerve ending. Okay, whenever the receptor collects the information, means collect the information, so first the information is collected at the dendrite of the neuron, again will passes through the cell body, and cell body to the axon, and passes through the what, nerve ending. Okay, this how this information is transferred in a one neuron cell. Okay, how transmission of information taking place in a one neuron cell, means we can write first information is collected at the dendrite and passed through the cell body to the axon, and axon to the what, nerve ending. So how this is how the information is transferred in one neuron cell. Okay, this is the information transmission in a one neuron cell. Okay, this is they are given here. This information is occurred at the end of the dendrite or tip of a nerve cell. Okay, that is the given here, where information is collected dendrite tip of a nerve cell, and sets off a chemical reaction that creates a electrical impulse. Okay, so they creates what, by the method of by the method of chemical reaction, they creates electrical impulse. Again, very important point, how to remember, by which method the information is transported in a neuron, means by the what, electrical impulse. By the method of electrical impulse, or by the help of electrical impulse, the information is transferred in a neuron cell. Okay, remember that which by which method they will transferring the information in neuron cell, means you can write a electrical impulse. Okay, this impulse travels from the dendrite to the cell body. Again, these impulse travels from what, cell body to the, sorry, these electrical impulse travels from dendrite to the cell body, and then along the axon to its end. Okay, so this is how information is transmitted in a single neuron cell. First it collects at the dendrite tip of a neuron cell, and I will transfer to the cell body with the help of electrical impulse. Okay, electrical impulse, and passes through the axon, and axon to the nerve ending. This is how the this is how information is transporting in a single neuron cell. At the end of the axon, the electrical impulse sets off a release of some chemicals. Okay, at the end of dendrite, so at the end of the nerve ending. Okay, at the end of the nerve ending, these electrical impulse sets some chemical reactions. Okay, at the end of the nerve ending, at the end of the nerve cell, there is some chemicals in this region. Okay, these chemicals crosses the gap or a synapse and start similar electrical impulse in a dendrite of the next neuron. Okay, we already know that how information is transferred in a single single neuron, means we said that dendrite, after that cell body to the axon, and axon to the nerve ending. This is how we conclude, how this is how we concluded that information transported in a single neuron cell. But in our body they are having several or millions of neuron cell in our body. So how information is transferred to the one neuron cell to the another neuron cell, means so in this neuron cell, so in after the end of the nerve cell, another neuron cell is there. Okay, so in this gap is called as what, synapse. Okay, so the small gap between nerve ending and dendrite is called as what, synapse. The small gap between say nerve ending and dendrite is called as what, synapse. In this part some chemical reaction is going on, and after this chemical reaction, the information is transferred to the next neuron. Okay, how information transferred from one neuron to the another neuron, means some other next neuron is present at the end of the nerve ending. So this small gap between nerve ending and next dendrite, that called as the what, synapse. In this synapse there is a small gap that makes the what, release of some chemical reactions, that chemical reactions transfer the information from the nerve end to the next neuron. So this is how information is transferred to the next neuron. After the collecting the information again from next neuron of the dendrite, passes through the cell body, again axon to the nerve ending. Again same procedure will followed by until it reaches to the destination point. Again nerve ending again releases some chemical, and that chemical reactions or make some chemical reaction, again it will transfer to the next dendrite. Okay, they will make continuously this process is going on until it reaches to the target organ or a target tissue. So that is given here. Okay, so and then along the axon, okay, these chemicals across the gap, okay, that gap synapse and start similar electrical impulse in a dendrite to the next neuron. Okay, this is a general scheme of how nervous impulse travel in the body. Okay, this how electrical impulse or information is traveling from one neuron cell to the another neuron cell in a body. First it collects a dendrite, after that cell body to the axon to the nerve ending. In the nerve ending, so some chemical reaction will taken place, so that chemicals will transfer the information from nerve ending to the next neuron of the dendrite, and then again dendrite will collects the what, information sent to the cell body to the axon to the nerve ending. Again there's the second nerve end of the neuron, again transmit the information to the third neuron by chemical process. So in that called as what, synapse. This is called as small gap between dendrite and nerve ending is called as the synapse. Okay, in exam they will ask what is synapse means. It is a small gap between nerve ending and the dendrite is called as what, synapse. Okay, another question comes here. So in this paragraph 2-3 questions are comes. First, what is the function of olfactory receptor means, it will detects the what, smell. Gustatory receptor detects the taste. And next third one, how information is transported in a neuron cell means, from first it collects from the dendrite, again cell body to the axon to the nerve ending. By which method the information is transported in a neuron cell means, we can say that by the electrical impulse. By the help of electrical impulse, the information is transferred in a neuron cell. Okay, next how information is transported in one neuron cell to the another neuron cell means, same you have to write. First information is collected to the dendrite, after the cell body to the axon to the nerve ending. At the nerve ending some chemical reaction will be released, so that chemical reaction transfer the information to the next dendrite of the next neuron. Okay, from this the information is transferred to the one neuron to the another neuron cell. Okay, this is the how information is passing from one neuron to the another neuron. This is simple explanation that is very important. In exam they will ask write the function and draw the diagram of neuron. Okay, the draw diagram of neuron and explain its function means, you can read. This is simple and very easy, for 3 to 4 marks will comes this question. Okay, with the diagram and explanation, very important. So only how to draw this neuron, don't draw this. Okay, it will not ask. Okay, only how to draw this one only, this neuron structure how to draw. A similar synapse finally allows delivery of such impulse from neurons to the other cells such as muscle cells or glands. Okay, after that the information is collected by the neurons that will deliver to the what, other muscles and or glands by the help of electrical impulse. Okay, by from the synapse or or that delivers the information with the help of electrical impulse that will passes through the muscles or muscle cells or a gland, that finally muscles will do the final job or a final action. Okay, it is thus no surprise that nervous tissue is made up of an organized network of nerve cells or neurons. Okay, so it is what nervous tissue is what complicated as well as the some organized network of nerve cells or neurons, because it will transporting the information from in organized manner, so that is having very what the organized network of transportation of information from one cell to the another neuron cell, and it is specialized for conducting information via electrical impulse from one part of the body to the another part. Okay, it is very important or very useful in any organism that information is transferring through the neurons through one cell to the other cell of the body with the help of what electrical impulse. The neurons will transporting the information from one cell to the another cell of the body with the help of electrical impulse. Okay, with very easy and with accurate information is passed by the neurons with the help of what electrical impulse. Remember that by neurons transmit the information by with which type of method, means we can say that electrical impulse. By the help of electrical impulse, the neuron transmitting the information from one cell body to the another cell body. Okay, look at figure 7.1a and identify the parts of neuron. Okay, where the information is acquired. So from this figure, where it is information is acquired. Okay, where it is information acquired means we can easily say that at the end of the dendroid the information is acquired. Simply we can say that, okay, we can easily say that information is collected at the dendroid. Next, what is the next question? Through which information travels as an electrical impulse. So through which means by axon. So by the axon, through the nerve ending, the electrical impulse passes. Next, where this the muscle must where this muscle impulse must converted into chemical signals for onward transmission. We can easily say that at the end of the what nerve ending, there will be conversion of what chemical energy into next information. Okay, this and first collected the dendroid and they will pass us through the axon through the to the nerve ending. At the end of the nerve ending, they will converting into chemical energy. The information is converting into chemical energy and they will pass it into the next neuron cell. This is the third answer. Okay, so here the last question, where this impulse must be converted into chemical signals for onward transmission, means that we call as what nerve ending. At the end of the nerve ending, they will what transporting the information from one cell to the another neuron cell. So activity 7 point is given here. Okay, what is activity 7.1? So put some sugar in your mouth. How does it taste? Block your nose by pressing it between your thumb and index finger. Okay, how to eat the water sugar and how to taste that the sugar, and by the pressing, and you have to do the next, you have to press your nose with your thumb as an index finger. Now eat sugar again. There is any difference in taste? First you have to eat sugar and how to taste that sugar. After the second time you have to again eat the sugar with the, now you have to do with your thumb and index finger. You have to press your nose. Okay, now taste that. What will, there is a difference or that will gives the same taste? You have to observe it. Okay, while eating a lunch, block your nose in the same way and notice if you can fully appreciate the taste of the food you are eating. Okay, in other activity also you can do that. While eating the food, again you have to block your nose with your index finger and thumb. Again taste that food that you are eating, that having the what a good taste or a some bad taste, or you will not detect the taste. That how to discuss here. Okay, that how to understood. Is there is a difference now sugar and food taste, your nose is a blocked. Okay, if what we conclude here, okay, if your nose is a blocked means we cannot get a taste or a smell. Okay, if so, why might this happening? So we are not detecting the smell and taste while blocking our nose means read and talk about possible expression. Why means so if there is no receptor to tell that there is a what a smell tell that about the taste and smell of an food. Okay, that is due to the lack of working of the receptor, so we cannot say that it is a good taste or a bad taste, because of there is no proper working of the receptor, because the nose is blocked. In that nose we having what a receptor, so that the receptor does not work properly. For example, we studied about that gustatory will taste the what taste. Okay, so the gustatory receptor will not work properly means we cannot taste anything. Okay, olfactory receptor. Okay, so gustar receptor is working properly means we can taste any it we can taste all food. Okay, if these gustar receptor is not working properly means we cannot taste anything. Okay, so next olfactory receptor is working properly means we can smell all kind of food, but it is not working properly means so that we cannot what smell the substance or smell the food. This is why when the cough and when we got the cold or when get cold, that time we cannot taste as well as the smell the food, because these receptors will not work properly. So that is why we cannot we are eating also means we cannot get taste as well as the smell, because in our nose these receptor gust receptor and olfactory receptors are not working properly. If they are working properly means we can get the taste of food as well as the smell of the food. So if these receptor are working properly means we can taste anything and we can smell anything. Okay, these are the main function of receptor. Okay, so thank you for watching, and share share and subscribe my channel, and please comment in the comment box. Thank you for watching. So